Hi, I'm Diane Hendricks and welcome to Fresh to Frozen and Back. This show is going to make your life easier. In each episode, I will show you how to prepare delicious and better for you meals, how to freeze them properly, and then bring them back to the table at a later date, doctor them up a little bit, and give them a second chance. This show is all about leftover French fries and potato wedges and things like that. What you can do with this is unbelievable. I've got some really great ideas and it's super simple and you're gonna love it. Okay, so let's start right off the bat with potato broccoli soup. It's a fantastic way to use leftover potatoes. You can puree the potatoes in a food processor or a blender, whether it's French fries or wedges or even baked potatoes, it doesn't matter. You just puree it in a food processor and then you use it as a thickener in a soup. So any type of cream-based soup, you're cutting back on the fat and the calories by using leftover potatoes or fries. It's really yummy and it's absolutely delicious. You can use this, my kids love it. It's very, very kid friendly. Super simple, and I have a recipe on my website for it. For this, I'm using the Dippin' Wedges by McCain with no artificial colors or flavorings, and they're made from 100% potatoes. But what's really cool is they have this little pocket in them. There's like a little pocket. They're so yummy. You just throw them in the oven, you bake them for about 15 minutes, flip them over, bake them for another 10 minutes, and you can stuff them. So what I've done here is I made like a little pizza stuffed potato in that pocket. I just put some marinara cheese. You can pipe it, like cut the corner, put some marinara in a Ziploc bag, some type of zip top bag, not so big, you don't need so big, but a sandwich size would work. Put the marinara sauce in there, cut a little corner, you can pipe it right in there, top it with some mozzarella cheese, and you can stick that in the oven if you'd like the cheese to melt, but you don't have to. And then this is buffalo turkey. I had some leftover turkey that I had roasted, shredded it up, put some of my favorite hot sauce in there, and just put it in these little pockets and then added some freshly crumbled blue cheese, and it's fantastic. They're perfect little one bites. Okay, next we have French fry nachos. So what I have here are some leftover fries, and I have some ground turkey that I had cooked up and it was left over from taco night. So I just put the ground turkey, which this freezes great. So once you saute up your turkey or your beef or your chicken or your tofu, put all your spices in it, you use it for dinner. When you're done, if you have any left over, either put it in a zip top bag or in a freezer safe container, label it, date it, and then just put it in the freezer. And then when you want, you can make these loaded French fry nachos that are fabulous. So we have the lean leftover, the ground turkey. I'm going to do some tomatoes, just some diced tomatoes. If you don't want to use the tomatoes, don't use them. I love tomatoes though. And then I have some jalapenos that's thinly sliced. I love heat. If you're serving the kids, put the jalapenos on the side. So we're gonna put the jalapenos on there. Oh, it's so good. Yum. Some cilantro, which you can chop up. It's amazing. Then we're gonna add a little bit of shredded cheese. We're gonna put a little bit of shredded cheddar or Mexican blend on it. You can use a little or as much as you want. And then we are going to just pop this in the oven. You'll take this, you'll put it right back in the oven. Now that's a double duty French fry right there. You'll put it back in the oven just until the cheese melts at like 350, 375 for about 10, 15 minutes. And the cheese gets all ooey and melty. And then I'll put a little bit of the extra tomato on top for color. Hit it with a little bit of more cilantro. And then you can just use some crema or some creme fraiche or even some just thinned out sour cream and just kind of go across the top. Look at that. But don't forget, you do this at the end because you don't want the cream to be heated because it really gives that cool contrast. Look at that. How delicious does that look? I mean, you can't beat that, serving that to your friends or your family. Okay, next we have an egg bake. I'm going to make this simple egg bake. So easy. We'll take some eggs, crack some eggs into your bowl. And I'm gonna use probably, oh, that was a double yolker. That's good luck, I think. I got a double yolk. Love that, I don't think I've ever had that before. Okay, so we got the eggs. I'm using, well, I'll use 4 eggs, but I got 5 yolks, that's okay. That's no yolk. Okay, we're gonna whip that up and add a little bit of milk. And then you're just gonna go in your refrigerator, any vegetables that you have, you can saute them in a pan for like 2 minutes, or you don't even have to if you like your veggies al dente. So I'm just gonna put them right in here. So right in here, what do I have? Even cucumbers. Don't neglect cucumbers when you're making something that's hot. They actually are very good warm, and you can put them in any dish. Okay, so this is ready to go, and what I'm gonna do is, you can add a little bit of cheese if you'd like, you don't have to. You can use any kind of cheese you want or not, Parmigiano Reggiano, you can use Grana Padano, you can use Monterey Jack, whatever you want. Mix that in there, just a tiny bit. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these leftover fries, or the wedges or whatever you have, and just chop them up. Hear how crispy they are? These are some crispy fries. And then I'm gonna put these at the bottom of the baking dish. I'm gonna add a couple more, we've got plenty. I'll use some of the wedges too, they have a nice crunch too. So we're just gonna put these on the bottom. And everybody loves potatoes and eggs, it goes so nicely together. Okay, so that's at the bottom. Then you're just gonna take this egg mixture and put it in here, just like that. Push the potatoes down to the bottom. This is gonna rise just up to about half. I like this dish because what I love about it is it has a lid. So if you don't go over the top, you can always just put the lid back on it. This is actually very freezer safe as well. Put this in the oven and let it bake for about almost a half an hour, could be 40 minutes. Just you'll see once you shake the pan if it gets like wiggly. And then when you take it out, I got one in here. So then when it's done, and it's just about done, you're going to top it with some more fries. So what you're gonna do is you're going to chop up some more fries after this is finished. You'll chop them all up, and then we're just going to put it on top. You're gonna put them on top, add a little bit more cheese, and this is what you end up with. Look at that, look how good that looks. It looks absolutely amazing, and it's delicious. You can cut it in squares and freeze it. What you do once it cools down, because this is still hot, whatever you have left, you're just gonna cut it into a square. You're going to use a spatula to get it out and put it on a baking sheet and stick them in the freezer. Once each of the pieces get solid, then you'll put it in a freezer safe bag, label it, date it, and you can just pop one out, or like if I'm away and the kids are hungry, they can just pop one out and either stick it in the oven or put it in the microwave, however they want to reheat it. It's absolutely yummy. This one, I'm gonna bake this. We might as well put it in, right? Okay. Now I'll save these on the side for when they come out. Okay, now I'm gonna make potato bits. Like bacon bits. It's like the easiest thing, and it freezes beautifully. And look at these, they're little, just food processed potatoes. You'll see, the leftovers. So we'll take these, watch this. This one you're gonna be using a lot. I'll do both of these. So this is what's left over. I can even throw some of these guys in there. The little smiles, they're happy in there. Okay. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna pulse them. Just continue to pulse them until you get little bits. Now look it, you're gonna take them and you're gonna just put them on a baking sheet. You know, I don't know if you realize, but the hole in the bottom of this food processor, you can put your finger in there and hold on to the blade. So you don't have to fight with the blade in your food processor. So you're just gonna take it and put it on it in an even layer, shake them up, move them around however you want, on a parchment lined baking sheet. And then you're gonna go even. You don't want them to steam or anything. You want them to kind of crisp up, so you wanna get as even as possible. But we're gonna go back and shake it anyway, and then we're gonna puree it one more time and then throw it back in. But it's worth doing this all at once because they last forever. You can put them in the freezer. So I'm gonna put these in there with the bake. And while those are baking, those nachos look so good, I just wanna eat them. While those are baking, I'm going to make loaded Greek fries. So we have the leftover craft beer, American Pale Ale craft beer fries by McCain. These are craft beer battered, thin. I love thin French fries, and they're so good. And there's so much flavor in here. So what we're gonna do is we are going to just add some simple ingredients, really simple ingredients. We are going to use either the Loi Pougi, which is a feta yogurt dip, or the tzatziki, or both. I think I'm going to use, since I have feta, I'm gonna use the tzatziki on this one, but it goes great. Either one of them is perfect, but I'm gonna use the tzatziki today. Oh my gosh, and we're just gonna put this all over it. And I'm gonna stick this in the oven, so this tzatziki is gonna get like, it's gonna kind of melt a little bit, get like all melty and yummy. So good. And then we are going to add some mint. I have dried mint here from my garden, believe it or not. It's so easy to dry your herbs. I just harvest them, gather them in a bunch, put a rubber band around the stem, and I just hang them upside down anywhere in my kitchen where there's something that they can hang. And once it's dried, you just go like this, and you end up with this. And it goes right in your spice cabinet, and it lasts a really long time. I'm gonna use some olives. These are green olives, but they're really good. They taste delicious. And then we're gonna use some fresh parsley. Look at that. And then we're gonna crumble a little bit of crumbled feta on top. And then you can stick that right in the oven again. You don't even have to, they're good like this as long as the fries are warm, but if you want, you can stick them right in the oven. The feta starts to get a little soft, but it stays in its curds. It's really, really good. Okay, so this is ready to cut, and it comes right out of the pan. And to freeze it, all you do is cut it into the portions that you'd like. I think this will probably be good in 6. So I did 2 little slices this way, and I'll go 1 down this way. And you can serve it this way as well. This is delicious with, you know, like a nice tossed salad or a vegetable and some toast or whatever. But if you want to freeze it, here's all you do. You'll take each slice and put it on a baking sheet. And then you'll take this baking sheet and you'll put this directly in your freezer and just leave it in there for about an hour to an hour and a half, and then these will get rock solid. And then you'll take them out once they're solid, and you'll take your Sharpie and you'll label it. What do we have? We have a potato egg bake. And then you'll write the date, and then you'll just stick them in there one at a time, just nicely in there one at a time, seal it up, and then just stick it in your freezer. And you could just pop one of those for breakfast. A kid's lunch, you just pop it in their lunchbox. By the time it defrosts, they can eat it at lunchtime with a little salsa or marinara. It's delicious. Okay, let me get the bits out of the oven. Okay, so here we have the crispy potato bits. I'm telling you, they're such a great alternative to like bacon bits, and they give like a nice crunch to a salad. So you can see that they're all crispy, and they're even gonna crisp up even more after you're done. So once it's cool, these aren't cool yet, but once they're cool, you're gonna use, this is the beauty of the parchment paper. You're gonna gather it all together with the parchment paper, and you're gonna take another Ziploc bag. Let's use this one that we were experimenting with. And you're going to take it, what I like about the parchment paper is you can gather it up like this, and then I'll just hold it like this, and you'll just go like that. And then lay, these are still hot, but once they're cooled, then you're just gonna lay these flat, stick them in the freezer, and you have these delicious, delicious crunchy, you hear that? These crunchy potato bits that you can top on anything. Thanks for watching Fresh to Frozen and Back. I'm Diane Hendricks. Please share this episode with your friends and those that you love. Follow me on social media at Diane Hendricks, and check out my YouTube channel, and tune in next time. I'll see you next time.